Ladies and gentlemen, this is Eddie Marcus once again. I want you to answer a question for me, and I'd like for you to think about it for a moment. There are 4 United States presidents, ex-presidents, that are still living. I think Jimmy Carter is the oldest. And then we got George H. Bush. And we have Bill Clinton. And we have George W. Bush. They're all ex-presidents. People who we consider as ex-leaders of the most dynamic nation on the face of the earth. We have a president currently, Barack Obama. He's a Democrat. And when he first came on the scene, a lot of people thought that he was going to be the savior. And he's not. And just think about, we got at least 50 governors, at least. And we got state legislatures. Oh, let's back it back. We got a United States Congress, House of Representatives, the Senate. And back to the states, we got state legislatures, we got judges, we got local city officials, mayor, aldermen, councilmen, we got nonprofits, we got leaders, we got businesses, we got CEOs, and the colleges. Think about all of the presidents of colleges. Think of all of those tenured professors. Let's think about it, all across the nation. And not one of them are proposing a plan that would bring peace and prosperity and joy to the nation. Not one. No one is even being considered for a Nobel Prize for something as fantastic and as wonderful as that. No one is considering it. And where you look at the public officials, you will never hear these kinds of thoughts come from their mouth unless it's a tale, it's a state of deception, something that when they say it, they have no way, no thought in mind of how to produce it. And if you ever ask them a question about it, you will see how tangled up they will get. And yet, every now and then, if you search the internet, you will find someone who speaks to this level of concentration and love. And even though you might find one here and there that might do that, they try to explain it on the concept of the economic system that works here, that has been instituted here in the United States of America, capitalism, so to speak, as it were. They try to tie everything in to money, to costs, etc., etc., as if the economic capitalist system that exists here in America came down with the word. And it's not, ladies and gentlemen. All of this is a state of deception. And this is why I look at all of these people that we've just mentioned. And I look at them and I wonder, what kind of people are these that can accept the fact that poverty exists, that causes crime and violence, that terrorism exists, which is a result of the same types of things, even though some are calling on religion to say that this is why I am so evil. It's all deception. There is only one truth, a real truth, and that is the truth that works for everyone. Because everyone have a dream. And all anybody wants is for that dream to come true. And living in human bodies on this planet lie, cheat, steal, kill, and get away with it, then you can be the richest people on the face of the earth. And even then, you got problems. But your problems are nothing compared to the problems of the man that's sleeping under the bridge. And I ask myself, how is it that people who go to church all the time, the religious institutions, who can open up food shelves, who can open up places where people can get out of the streets sometimes, some of them, who talk about a dimension where a father lives, who sent a son to let us know how wonderful that place was and how wonderful it could be. And I'm wondering, how in the world can people sit around and allow these things to exist? But I look at it and I say, when I got out of college, I majored in social science and minored in sociology. Many of my friends were continuing their education. They wanted to get a master's or a doctorate. And I looked around. I knew what I wanted. I wanted to see all of the suffering dissipate. You know, when I think about people being called savages, when I think about other people who were called less than human, and I see how people treat people even when you think they're human. So to be less than human and savages, I know what that's like. And when I think about how the haves and how people pursue and how important having is to everybody, but in a system that to have means to have not. And I just can't understand how people, and I look at them and I say, you missed it. To the world you might be everything, but to God you missed it. And I think about the churches and I say, you missed it. And yet, I look in the mirror and I say to myself, I missed it. Because I, regardless of what I think I know or what I know, I was unable to articulate it to you in a way that you can understand. So I owe you an apology because I failed you. And I know that the whole world is designed so that in any way, any of you, any of us, come up with a thought like this and really stand up for it, it is a key to the next dimension. And as I'm thinking, let me say this to the old people. You have lived, I guess, a long life. Martin Luther King says longevity has its place. But to be old in America is a curse. Maybe if you're wealthy, or maybe if you took care of yourself to such a degree that you are still healthy. But for the most part, to be old in America is a curse. So, to be old really means, I know you, a lot of you are glad that you're old and living. You don't want to be dead. You only feel that way because you're absent knowledge of truth. None of us, I'm 65 going on 66. I should not be alive today. Not with all the stuff going on in the world. Well, it's okay if I was just like most of us. But I say I have a vision. I say that there can be peace, prosperity, and joy on earth. I say I've seen it. I've advocated it for you. I should not be living in the absence of these things. It should have meant so much to me that you were able to experience it, that I should not have let winter, summer, spring, hurricanes, tsunamis, wife, children, or anything stop me from causing an echo in the ears of every person on this country until they actually did something about the suffering in this nation or took me out. If they do something about the suffering in the nation, we all celebrate. If they don't do it, take me out, and you guys have this because I didn't stand for it. That's what I'm saying. None of us, all of us, should have come to a state like that when we were young. And this society would have been good. Or if it wouldn't, at least we would have been gone because we represented something else. And having represented something else, these who are behind us would truly understand. And they would have stood. Why? Because we would have set a foundation for them, something that they could actually see and interpret.